Emmaus or Jerusalem, third Sunday in Easter, year A. In today's gospel passage, two disciples of Jesus are traveling from the city of Jerusalem to the city of Emmaus. Jerusalem is the city where disciples witnessed Jesus, their leader, dying before their eyes as Jesus lay crucified on a cross. The painting from an unknown painter depicts Jesus shortly after he was taken down from the cross. Those around Jesus, as you can clearly see, are in great dismay. Jerusalem is also the holy city that the prophet Isaiah prophesied one day people from all the nations will go to worship the true God, for Jerusalem and its holy temple will become, prophesies Isaiah, a house of prayer for all peoples. A phrase Jesus quoted when cleansing the Jerusalem temple. The model here that you see is a model of what the holy Jerusalem temple likely looked at the time of Jesus. Finally, Jerusalem and its holy temple is, we believe, Jesus. Jesus is the fulfillment of Jerusalem. Jesus is the holy temple of God. People from all nations are invited to go to Jesus, and in Jesus, as living stones, worship God. As Peter writes in his first letter, all are called by God to be built into a spiritual house, to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. By leaving Jerusalem, these two disciples can be interpreted as leaving the holy city of Jerusalem, leaving Jesus behind, and instead going to another city, to Emmaus. As pointed out by Father Rollheiser, Emmaus was not associated by the Jewish people as a holy city that people would one day flock to because of its holiness. Instead, Emmaus was known as a Roman spa city that people flocked to because of its reputation for sinful behavior. So there are two cities. One, Jerusalem, that's prophesied by Isaiah as a holy city that will draw people, and the other city we're reflecting on is Emmaus, that was not known for its holiness, rather was known for its sinfulness. At the time of Jesus, Emmaus was known as a Roman spa city that people would flock to because of its reputation for sinful behavior. Emmaus was a kind of resort city, sort of, Rollheiser comments, a Las Vegas, where people drown their worries, immediate pleasures and joys that only last for a brief moment and then quickly pass, leaving many who participate often feeling very empty and very sad. The photograph shows one of the most famous Las Vegas gambling sites. Reflecting on Emmaus. The Greek name Emmaus is possibly of Hebrew origin from the Hebrew word yem, meaning hot springs. And at this site of hot springs, archaeologists have uncovered a large Roman bath. As the disciples leave the holy city of Jerusalem and travel to Emmaus, a city likely associated with sin and not holy behavior, they encounter Jesus. This encounter with Jesus compels the two disciples to return to Jerusalem, where they find 11 apostles gathered together. The apostles joyfully tell the two disciples of Jesus, "The Lord has truly been raised from the dead." When I'm discouraged, when I'm disappointed, when I experience failure, I have been tempted to act like the two disciples who leave Jerusalem, who leave Jesus, who leave those who are the living stones of Jesus' body extended through time. When I'm tempted to go to worldly places that promises to drown out my sorrows and my anxieties in a disordered, ungodly manner, since by so doing so I will have separated myself from Jesus, from God, and from loving true relationships with other people who God wants me to patiently remain faithfully with. Repeatedly, though, each time I am tempted to leave Jesus for Emmaus, to abandon the holy city of Jerusalem, to abandon Jesus, Jesus comes to meet me. Jesus comes to meet us right in the midst of our temptation, and he does so to encourage us not to choose a shortcut to happiness that will only leave us feeling unhappy, even sadder. And that shortcut of happiness is always selfish forms of love. Jesus offers us another type of love, and that is other-centered love, which requires us to be patient, which requires us to persevere in our relationships, which requires us to carry our cross. Jesus meets us and tells us to trust him, to lovingly persevere in a relationship with him, and through and in Jesus to lovingly persevere by remaining with our brothers and sisters and not leave them and Jesus behind. Today, may we reaffirm our commitment to other-centered love, to Trinitarian to love, to the love of Jesus, by reaffirming our commitment to remain with our brothers and sisters in our home, the church, the mystical body of Jesus, the holy temple of Jesus, of which by our baptisms we are living stones. God bless.